The Apex Paradox. Chapter 1, The Crucible of Exile. The Milky Way galaxy sprawled across the inky blackness of space, a mesmerizing expanse of glittering stars and swirling nebulae. Among its countless worlds, Earth, a vibrant blue-green jewel, had once been the cradle of humanity. Now it was a distant memory, a fading echo of a past that had been abruptly shattered. Ethan, a young engineer with unruly brown hair and eyes that burned with a fierce intelligence, stood on the observation deck of the Terran vessel Odyssey, his gaze fixed on the swirling clouds of gas and dust that painted the cosmic canvas. The Milky Way was a sight that never failed to fill him with awe and wonder, a reminder of the boundless possibilities that lay beyond the confines of his home planet. He was not alone in his contemplation. Beside him stood Commander Anya Petrov, a seasoned veteran of interstellar exploration with silver streaks lining her dark hair. Her face, weathered by years of traversing the stars, held a stoic expression, a mask that barely concealed the turmoil that raged within her. "It's a beautiful sight, isn't it?" Ethan murmured, his voice barely audible over the soft hum of the ship's engines. "It is," Anya replied, her voice tinged with a hint of melancholy. "But beauty can be deceptive, engineer. Remember that." Ethan nodded, his gaze shifting to the holographic display that projected a detailed map of the galaxy. The Milky Way was a tapestry of diverse civilizations, each with its unique culture, history, and ambitions. For centuries, humanity had strived to integrate into this galactic community, eager to learn from their elder brethren and contribute their own unique talents. But their path had been fraught with obstacles. The Galactic Concord, an alliance of ancient and powerful races, viewed humanity with suspicion and apprehension. They saw the Terrans as brash and impulsive, their rapid technological advancement and relentless expansionism a potential threat to the delicate balance of the galaxy. The recent conflict with the Zanari had only deepened this mistrust. A territorial dispute over a resource-rich star system had escalated into a devastating war, leaving both sides scarred and embittered. The Galactic Concord, eager to maintain order and stability, had intervened, but their judgment had been swift and unforgiving. Ethan's hands clenched into fists as he recalled the day the sentence was handed down. The council chamber, a grand hall of shimmering crystal and polished metal, had been filled with representatives from every corner of the galaxy. As the verdict was read, a hush fell over the assembly, broken only by the soft rustling of robes and the rhythmic clicking of claws. "Humanity, your actions have jeopardized the peace and stability of the galaxy," the island ambassador had declared, his voice echoing through the chamber. "You have proven yourselves to be a volatile and unpredictable force, a danger to yourselves and others. Therefore, we hereby sentence you to exile." A collective gasp had risen from the human delegation, but their protests were drowned out by the murmuring of the other races. The council had spoken, and their decision was final. Humanity was to be banished to Nova Terra, a desolate and barren world on the fringes of charted space. The news had been met with shock and outrage on Earth. Protests erupted in the streets, and desperate pleas for mercy were sent to the Galactic Concord, but to no avail. The wheels of galactic justice, once set in motion, were unstoppable. The Odyssey, a state-of-the-art exploration vessel, had been one of the few Terran ships spared from confiscation. Now it served as a lifeline, carrying the last remnants of a once proud civilization to their new, uncertain home. As Nova Terra loomed on the horizon, a barren, lifeless sphere shrouded in a toxic atmosphere, Ethan knew that humanity faced its greatest challenge yet. But he also knew that they would not go quietly into the night. They would adapt, innovate, and survive. They would forge a new destiny, even in the harshest of environments. For they were Terran, and the spirit of exploration and defiance ran deep in their blood. Chapter 2, Forge of Resilience. The Odyssey's landing on Nova Terra was far from graceful. The ship's thrusters roared as it fought against the planet's turbulent atmosphere, buffeted by gale-force winds and swirling dust storms. The view from the viewport was bleak, a desolate expanse of cracked earth, jagged rock formations, and a sickly yellow sky. Ethan watched as the first transport shuttles descended towards the designated landing zone, carrying precious cargo of supplies and equipment. He could see the fear and uncertainty etched on the faces of the evacuees as they stepped onto the alien soil, their eyes wide with apprehension. "Welcome to paradise," Anya muttered beside him, a wry smile playing on her lips. Ethan chuckled dryly. "We'll make it paradise, Commander. We have to." The early days on Nova Terra were a relentless struggle for survival. The thin atmosphere offered little protection from the harsh solar radiation, and the temperature fluctuated wildly between scorching days and freezing nights. The planet's meager resources were scattered and difficult to access, and the constant threat of dehydration and starvation loomed over the fledgling colony. Many of the exiles succumbed to despair, their spirits broken by the unforgiving environment. But Ethan refused to give up. He knew that humanity's survival depended on their ability to adapt and overcome. "We are not defeated," he declared in a rousing speech to the weary colonists. "We are simply being tested. This is our crucible, our forge where we will temper our spirit and emerge stronger than ever before." Ethan's words ignited a spark of hope in the hearts of his fellow exiles. They rallied around him, their determination renewed. Under his guidance, they began to explore their new home, seeking out sources of water, arable land, and any other resources they could find. The Novaterrans quickly learned that ingenuity and resourcefulness were their greatest assets. They repurposed salvage technology from the Odyssey, adapting it to the harsh conditions of their new world. They built makeshift shelters from scavenged materials, rigged solar panels to generate electricity, and devised ingenious methods for purifying the planet's contaminated water. Ethan's engineering skills proved invaluable. He led teams of scientists and engineers in developing innovative solutions to the colony's most pressing problems. They created hydroponic farms to grow crops in the barren soil, designed atmospheric processors to filter out toxins from the air, and even harnessed the planet's geothermal energy to power their settlements. As the colony slowly began to take shape, a sense of community emerged. The Novaterrans, once strangers from different walks of life, now found themselves bound together by a shared purpose. They worked side by side, sharing their skills and knowledge, supporting each other through the hardships and celebrating their small victories. The old divisions that had plagued humanity on Earth, the petty squabbles and political rivalries, seemed to fade into insignificance in the face of their common struggle. The Novaterrans were forging a new identity, one born of resilience, adaptability, and a deep-rooted belief in their ability to overcome any obstacle. The forge of Nova Terra was shaping a new humanity, one tempered by adversity and ready to face whatever challenges the future held. Chapter 3. The Rise of the Apex. Years turned into decades. Children born on the harsh soil of Nova Terra grew into adulthood, their resilience forged in the crucible of adversity. They knew nothing of Earth's lush landscapes or bustling cities. Their world was one of dust storms, rocky canyons, and the ever-present hum of machinery that sustained their lives. Yet Nova Terra was no longer the desolate wasteland it once was. Under Ethan's unwavering guidance, the colony had flourished. Hydroponic farms, sprawling across vast underground caverns, produced an abundance of fruits, vegetables, and grains, defying the planet's natural infertility. One day, as Ethan walked through one such farm, he stopped to admire a row of plump tomatoes, their vibrant red a stark contrast to the sterile white walls of the cavern. "Never thought I'd miss the taste of a fresh tomato so much," he mused to Anya, who had joined him for his daily inspection. "We've come a long way, haven't we?" she replied, a hint of pride in her voice. From starving refugees to self-sufficient farmers. Indeed they had. The Novaterrans had not only mastered agriculture, but had also harnessed the planet's geothermal energy to power their cities, carved into the very heart of Nova Terra's crust. These subterranean havens were marvels of engineering, complete with artificial lighting, climate control, and even parks and recreational areas. "And we're not done yet," Ethan said, his eyes twinkling with the fire of ambition. "We've barely scratched the surface of what's possible." He was right. The Novaterrans' ingenuity had not been limited to agriculture and urban development. Their scientists had made groundbreaking discoveries in physics, medicine, and material science. They had even stumbled upon a way to manipulate exotic particles found in Nova Terra's core, allowing them to achieve rudimentary, faster-than-light communication. The colony's military had also grown in strength and sophistication. Nova Terran soldiers, hardened by their harsh environment and rigorous training, were equipped with advanced weaponry and powered armor, a stark contrast to the ragtag militia that had first landed on the planet. "We must be prepared," Ethan had argued when some questioned the necessity of such a formidable military. "We may be far from the galactic conquered, but we are not alone in this universe. We cannot afford to be caught off guard." His words proved prophetic. As rumors of Nova Terra's transformation spread throughout the galaxy, whispers reached the ears of the galactic conquered. Intrigue and curiosity mingled with apprehension as the elder races contemplated the implications of humanity's resurgence. Some saw the Nova Terrans as a potential threat, a rogue nation that had defied their judgment and prospered in exile. Others saw them as a source of wonder, a testament to the indomitable spirit of a species that had been cast out and yet managed to not only survive, but thrive. The galactic concord remained silent, their intentions shrouded in mystery. But Ethan and the Nova Terrans knew that their time in isolation was coming to an end. They had risen from the ashes of exile, a phoenix reborn. Now they were ready to face whatever the galaxy threw at them. Chapter 4. The Convergence of Crises. A sense of unease permeated the normally bustling corridors of the Nova Terran Science Institute. The low hum of the particle accelerator, usually a comforting white noise, now seemed ominous, a foreboding echo of the unknown. Dr. Eris Thorne, a brilliant astrophysicist with a shock of silver hair and perpetually furrowed brow, stared intently at the complex data streams flickering across his monitor. "Something's not right," he muttered, his fingers dancing across the keyboard as he zoomed in on a particularly erratic energy signature. "This is unlike anything I've ever seen." His colleague, Dr. Alara Chen, a young, sharp-witted xenobiologist, leaned over his shoulder, her eyes scanning the data with a practiced ease. "It's like the fabric of space-time itself is unraveling," she observed, her voice barely a whisper. Their words hung heavy in the air, a chilling reminder of the delicate balance that underpinned their existence. The faster-than-light communication network that connected Nova Terra to the rest of the galaxy had been growing increasingly unstable, its signals distorted and fragmented. Reports from other worlds spoke of similar disruptions, a growing sense of panic spreading like wildfire across the stars. Ethan, who had long since transitioned from engineer to statesman, paced the length of his office, his mind racing. He had received a cryptic message from the Galactic Conquered, a plea for assistance couched in carefully worded diplomatic language. It spoke of a cosmic anomaly threatening the stability of the galactic core, a crisis that could jeopardize the very fabric of interstellar civilization. "They're scared," Anya observed, standing beside Ethan and watching as he reread the message for the 100th time. "And they're swallowing their pride to ask for our help." Ethan nodded grimly. "They have no choice. We're the only ones who understand the forces at play here." Nova Terra's unique geological makeup and isolation had forced the Terrans to develop a deep understanding of energy manipulation. Their mastery of the exotic particles found in the planet's core had not only enabled faster-than-light communication, but had also unlocked the secrets of manipulating the very fabric of space-time. "We can't let them down," Ethan said, his voice resolute. "We have a responsibility to help, not just for the sake of the galaxy, but for ourselves as well. If the galactic core collapses, Nova Terra won't be spared." He turned to Anya, his eyes filled with determination. "Assemble a team of our best scientists and engineers. We're going to the galactic core." Anya saluted, a flicker of pride in her eyes. "It will be done, sir." The news of the mission spread like wildfire through the colony, a mix of excitement and apprehension filling the air. The Nova Terrans were about to step onto the galactic stage, their skills and knowledge put to the ultimate test. Ethan knew the risks were high. The Galactic Concord's distrust of humanity had not entirely faded, and there were those who would see the Nova Terrans' intervention as an opportunity to exploit or eliminate them. But he also knew that this was their chance to prove their worth, to show the galaxy that humanity was not the villain they had been made out to be. As the Odyssey prepared for departure, Ethan stood on the observation deck, his gaze fixed on the swirling chaos of the galactic core. The future was uncertain, the dangers unknown. But one thing was clear: the fate of the galaxy, and perhaps even humanity itself rested on their shoulders. Chapter 5. The Apex Ascendant. The Odyssey emerged from the swirling vortex of hyperspace, its sleek hull gleaming in the light of the galactic core. Ethan stood on the bridge, his heart pounding in his chest as he gazed at the breathtaking spectacle before him. A vast, swirling mass of stars and nebulae, a kaleidoscope of colors and cosmic energy, pulsed and thrummed with an almost palpable intensity. "Welcome back to the heart of civilization, Captain," Anya said, a hint of amusement in her voice. Ethan smiled wryly. "I'm not sure civilization is the right word for this chaotic mess." The galactic core was a bustling hub of interstellar activity, a crossroads where countless species and cultures intersected. Massive space stations, sprawling orbital habitats, and fleets of starships from every corner of the galaxy filled the void, their lights twinkling like a swarm of fireflies. But beneath the veneer of order and prosperity, Ethan could sense a growing unease. The recent energy surges had shaken the Galactic Concord's confidence, exposing the fragility of their carefully constructed society. The Odyssey docked at the Concord's central station, a colossal structure that dwarfed even the largest Terran vessels. Ethan and his delegation were greeted by a contingent of Aelan guards, their faces impassive behind their ornate helmets. As they made their way through the labyrinthine corridors of the station, they encountered representatives of various alien species, their gazes lingering on the Terran envoys with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. The council chamber was a vast circular hall, its walls adorned with intricate mosaics depicting scenes of galactic history. Representatives from dozens of species sat in plush, cushioned seats, their eyes fixed on Ethan as he entered. The Aelan ambassador, a tall, slender being with iridescent scales and piercing blue eyes, rose to address the assembly. "Welcome, Nova Terrans," he said, his voice smooth and measured. "We appreciate your willingness to assist us in this time of crisis." His words were polite, but Ethan could sense the underlying skepticism and distrust. He knew that the Galactic Concord had only turned to humanity out of desperation, and that many still viewed them as a threat. "We are here to help," Ethan replied, his voice clear and unwavering. "We have the knowledge and the technology to stabilize the energy surges, but we will need your cooperation." The council members exchanged glances, their expressions guarded. After a moment of tense silence, the Quarian ambassador, a hulking creature with thick, leathery skin and multiple eyes, spoke. "Very well," he rumbled. "We will grant you access to our data and resources. But be warned, Terran, we will be watching your every move. Any attempt to exploit this situation for your own gain will be met with swift and decisive action." Ethan nodded, his face betraying no hint of emotion. "We understand the stakes," he said. "We have no desire to cause further harm. Our only goal is to help resolve this crisis and ensure the safety of all sentient beings." The days that followed were a whirlwind of activity. Ethan and his team worked tirelessly, analyzing data, running simulations, and collaborating with scientists from other species. The Nova Terrans' unique perspective and innovative solutions proved invaluable, their insights shedding new light on the nature of the energy surges. Slowly but surely, they began to make progress. The energy fluctuations grew less erratic, the communication network stabilized, and the sense of panic that had gripped the galaxy began to subside. As the crisis abated, a newfound respect for humanity blossomed. The Nova Terrans' ingenuity and selflessness had earned them the admiration of the galactic community. Their exile, once seen as a mark of shame, was now recognized as a testament to their resilience and adaptability. Humanity had risen from the ashes of despair, a phoenix reborn. They had not only survived, but thrived in the face of adversity, proving that their potential was not defined by aggression, but by their unwavering spirit and their ability to overcome any challenge. The apex paradox had been revealed, and humanity had earned its place among the stars, not as a feared predator, but as a beacon of hope and a symbol of unity in a galaxy facing an uncertain future. Chapter 6. A New Galactic Order. A celebratory atmosphere filled the once austere halls of the Galactic Concord. Representatives of various species mingled, their conversations punctuated by laughter and the clinking of glasses filled with exotic beverages. Ethan found himself surrounded by a group of Quarians, their massive frames and multiple eyes intimidating at first glance, but their booming voices now warm with camaraderie. "To the Nova Terrans!" one of the Quarians boomed, raising his glass high. "May your ingenuity and resilience continue to inspire us all." The other Quarians echoed the sentiment, their voices a chorus of deep, rumbling cheers. Ethan raised his own glass, a warm feeling spreading through his chest. It had been a long and arduous journey, but humanity had finally earned its place among the stars. He glanced across the room and saw Anya engaged in a lively conversation with the island ambassador. They were laughing, their heads bent close together, a stark contrast to the tense formality of their first meeting. Ethan smiled, realizing that the events of the past few months had not only changed the perception of humanity, but had also forged new bonds of friendship and understanding between once wary species. Later that evening, as the celebrations continued, Ethan found himself alone on a balcony overlooking the sprawling cityscape of the Concord's central station. The lights of countless starships and habitats twinkled in the distance, a testament to the vastness and diversity of the galaxy. "A penny for your thoughts, Ethan?" Ethan turned to see Elder Talara, a revered Aelon elder and a leading voice in the galactic Concord, standing beside him. "Just reflecting on how far we've come," Ethan replied, his gaze returning to the cityscape. Talara nodded, her ancient eyes filled with wisdom. "You have indeed come far, young one. Your people have shown remarkable resilience and ingenuity. You have proven yourselves worthy of our respect and admiration." Ethan smiled. "We are grateful for your understanding, Elder Talara. We have learned much from our exile, and we are eager to contribute our knowledge and skills to the betterment of the galactic community." "I have no doubt you will," Talara said, her voice filled with confidence. "Humanity's potential is limitless. You have the capacity for both great destruction and great creation. It is up to you to choose which path you will follow." Ethan nodded solemnly, his mind filled with images of the hardships and triumphs of his people. He knew that the road ahead would not be easy, but he was confident that humanity was ready to embrace its destiny. "We will not disappoint you, Elder Talara," he said, his voice firm. "We will strive to be a force for good in the galaxy, a beacon of hope and inspiration for all." As Ethan gazed out at the sprawling metropolis, a sense of hope and optimism filled his heart. The future was uncertain, but he knew that humanity was no longer alone. They had earned their place among the stars, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The Apex Paradox had come full circle. Their exile, once seen as a punishment, had become their greatest strength. They had transformed adversity into opportunity, proving that the true measure of a species was not its power or aggression, but its resilience, its adaptability, and its unwavering spirit. And so a new chapter in galactic history began. A chapter where humanity, once a pariah, now stood as a symbol of hope and inspiration, a testament to the boundless potential of a species that dared to defy the odds and forge its own destiny among the stars. The Apex Paradox had been resolved, and humanity had ascended to its rightful place as a beacon of hope in a galaxy filled with endless possibilities.